Everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I want to be showing y'all how I got my acrylic application from this to this. So first things first, of course, consistency and practicing. When I first started out, I only started out on myself. I started out watching YouTube videos, and let me tell y'all this: just because you watch YouTube videos don't mean you're gonna get it right the first time. So, well, you can. If you can, then that's good, but I didn't. So one thing I had to learn about was the acrylic consistency. I was putting too much on at a time in different places. Like if you can see in that first picture, it was lumpy and stuff. I was too busy trying to put it at the bottom and not at the top a lot. So one thing I had to learn was to even all my acrylic out. So when I did, I started with a nail tip and the natural tip meet, and I start there and I pat down. If I put a little bit too much, I'll pull it up a little bit. But like here, when I start out the cuticle, see how I push it up? I don't push it all the way up to flood it or anything, and I pat slowly. And I pat it down. I don't brush it down too hard. I let it dry a little bit. And if you can see at first, it was a little hump in the middle. So, and that's why my nails looked so humpy and stuff before. Because I wasn't evening out my acrylic. I was just swiping. But really, you have to pat. And don't think you need too much. Because too much can lead to lumps, and it can lead to your nails falling off as well. I can say is just don't practice on a mannequin. Also practice on a real hand. It don't have to be your actual client. It could be someone that's around you who doesn't mind you practicing, you know what I'm saying? Because a mannequin and a real hand are two different things. Me personally, I started off with mannequins because I was scared to do other people to practice on other people, but I had to because I feel like I wasn't getting the real experience, you know. So here you can see why I started. That's why I start my first bead. And if I need to, I'll push it up a little bit so it won't be so much. I pat. I don't swipe. I just pat. And also, you don't want to use too much acrylic because you don't want to waste acrylic. You know what I'm saying? So like when it comes down to the end, when you have to pat and stuff, when you have to, hold on, I'm going to show y'all. Just wait. See how it's the acrylic at the end, and watch what I do. You have to take some off, but that's normal. That is normal. You know, a lot of nail techs do that, but at the same time, you don't want to do it too much because that is wasting acrylic. And you can see at the end, I pat it at the end to get my shape, to make sure I still can see my shape. You know what I'm saying? So when I do this bead here, it's just to even it out a little bit. Of course, it's not gonna be too even because I didn't go in with my second bead yet, like my cuticle bead. But when I do that bead down below, I swipe it up as well so it can also be evened out in the middle. Because I still be having trouble with my middle being a little, you know what I'm saying, uneven, but I always fix it. But you can see my before and after pictures, you know, it's gotten better, but I still sometimes have to fix that. And everything, and really anything is fixable, you know, especially when it comes down to acrylic application and where you have bumps and lumps. You just don't want to pile up acrylic on top of each other because then that's going to look bad and it's going to cause lifting and it's going to be bad. So don't do that, you know. But here you can see I'm doing my cuticle bead. And with my cuticle bead, I try to not do it so big and so much because I don't want to flood the cuticles. Because flooding the cuticles can cause the nails ripping off as well, and it will be ugly. So you see here how it still look a little bit lumpy. I'm going to show you how you guys can fix that so you won't have any lumps, so it can be even and smooth. Like you see how the pinky nail is smooth now. At first it wasn't that smooth, but I eventually fixed it. Something else I can really say is invest in good acrylic. Don't start out with no bad acrylic, because if you start out with bad acrylic, you're not going to have, you're going to have a hard time, even more of a hard time. You know what I'm saying? So, some people start out with, beginner-friendly acrylic, and that's fine, too, but just make sure it's actually a good acrylic. Like me, I do the Mia Secret acrylic for my nude, and I also do this acrylic called Deontay. I'm gonna put a picture in it. It's on TikTok Shop, but it really does good for me, and I use it. It has a good consistency, and I don't think it dries too fast. A lot of people prefer acrylic that dry fast. I prefer in the medium, because I still be liking to work a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So you see here, I placed that bead right there where the cuticle oil, not the cuticle oil, the cuticle is, and it kind of already looked like it already had an apex, but it didn't from my view. So whenever you do nails, if you can see how I'm just twisting the finger a little, don't twist it hard, don't break nobody's finger, but you see how I'm twisting it to look at all views and stuff. That's just to see, because it can look smooth on one side but not be smooth on another side. So you always have to look at all angles. I can recommend you look at all angles of your nail. All angles, because it can look right from your front view, but when you turn it to the side, it don't look right. Or when you turn it to the left, you know what I'm saying? But, so, first, consistency. Make sure you're looking at your views of your nail, and start out on practice on a real person, and watch what acrylic you're using. I also see a lot of people saying that filing and drilling can fix bad application, and sometimes it can, because I've seen it, but in my case, the first picture I showed, it didn't. So that's why it's key to have a good application. You don't have to have the best, but at least have it smooth, so you don't have too many lumps and humps and stuff, because that's not good. It's not going to be pretty, and it's going to take a lot of filing and drilling to get it smooth. So to eliminate that, you can just start off by having a good acrylic application. Another thing I say is having a good nail brush. Me, I do need another nail brush, but it's still working good for me. I say invest in a good nail brush. Nail brushes are high. I'm gonna show y'all the nail brush I use, and I've been using since I started nails, and they work good for me. I also go to this nail store in Charlotte, and I forgot what it's called, but I go there as well, and they have good nail brushes. I think I paid $40 to $50 for a size 14. I think I don't remember verbatimly, but everybody knows nail brushes are high. Everything in the nail business is high, but it's not bad. It's just you really have to invest in your products because you want good quality. That's why I say you have to invest in good acrylic, because you want good quality. So don't think you're going to get the best outcome if you're not using good quality. If you're just using products just to use it, just to see if you can do it, you have to find you some good quality stuff. And I understand everybody don't have money for all of that, but it's ways around it as well, because sometimes they do have sales, and you don't need a big tube of acrylic. You can just get a little tube, you know what I'm saying? And if you can't buy a $40 to $50 brush, it's smaller sizes that they have for lower prices. And if you can't do that, then sometimes you do have to go with the cheapest thing, and that's fine, because at the end of the day, you have to work up to where you can have the money to buy even better products and stuff. And I understand that, so don't feel discouraged if you can't buy all this pricey stuff. And another thing I say, you control the acrylic. Don't let the acrylic control you. So back to what I was saying about the patent. pat it down. Don't swipe it. Pat, 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 like I'm doing. Pat, pat, pat. You don't want to use too much acrylic when you first put it, because you don't want it to run sidewall to sidewall, or like you don't want it to flood your cuticles. So don't use too much, but use enough. That's what come again about the looking at all angles, because you might not know if it's enough or if it isn't enough. So